Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ring Ready Live, the home of the owner handler, brought to you by Showsight Magazine. I'm Dan Sayers, here as always with Lee Whittier, the dog show mentor. And today is a very special show for Ring Ready Live. It is our first pre-Westminster show. And to honor the occasion, we have a special guest, and our guest is Meegan Pierotti-Tietje. She is the newest member of the Showsight family, one of two, but Meegan is the client relationship manager for Ring Ready and you, the owner handler. So Meegan is going to be joining us later for a conversation about preparing for Westminster. Meegan is showing her dog in this year's show, and she's going to be giving us some practical tips for pre-show prep, what to pack, what not to forget, and how to overcome those last-minute ring jitters. You know, we all have them, and that goes for owner handlers, pros, even the judges, Lee. I would imagine there's some jitters for this year's judges. You judge that show and you would know. So if you have a dog entered in this year's show, we'd love to hear that you are attending this year's show. We're just a few days out. I will be there along with Meegan and the Showsight team. Lee, I don't believe that you're going to be joining us. You'll be judging at a different show, and we'd love to hear about that and any owner handlers who are showing at those shows as well. So as always, please feel free to leave a comment. Let us know where you're located. Let us know your breed. And let us know if you're showing this weekend. Let us know if you're going to be in New York at Westminster or if you're showing at another show in the country. Dog shows are back in business, aren't they, Lee? It seems as though we are experiencing a bit of normalcy in the community. Would you agree?
There's a great deal of normalcy. I was in Alaska last week, and I'm in Chicago this week doing the Windy City cluster, and pretty much outdoors, or no masking, very little social distancing, and indoors, a masking choice, which has made a huge difference in people's outlooks. And I think just being back at shows has given everybody some inspiration right before Westminster.
For sure. So if you are in Chicago and you see Lee, and while she's not judging, say hello. And if you are in New York and you see me, or if you see Meegan or any one of the Showsight family, say hello and let us know that you're at the show and that you are a fan of Ring Ready Live. So before we get started this week, again, a reminder to leave a comment here, or you can always leave a comment for us via email at ringready@showsightmagazine.com. And you can always reach Lee, the dog show mentor. And Lee, just a reminder, if you would, how everyone can get in touch with you to either become a member of Dog Show Mentor or to join your Facebook group.
Right. So the best way is to join the public Facebook group, which is Dog Show Mentor Owner Handlers. And join that, answer the questions, and we'd love to have you as a member. And I see Kaylee's here. She's going to be, she has pugs and dachshunds, and Elizabeth is owner handled Beathan hounds. And Sarah says, Vinny and I will be there. Woohoo! And what breed is Vinny? And Alexandria is a breeder owner handler as well. So tell us what your breed is if you haven't already. And are you going to be there, and are you showing your own dog? And if you're not, there's going to be a surprise here in a few minutes on what I have to say about if you're not. So no shame here, no shame. All right.
Yes, and if you're showing your own dog, let us know that breed, because we would love to be ringside to cheer you on. So that's important. Let us know your breed, and we'll see if we can't connect with you. So in celebration of Westminster Week, as we've been talking about, showing your own dog at Westminster is it's a unique experience always, but especially so this year. And Ring Ready and Showsight Magazine had a poll this past week, and we were asking if you, the owner handler, was going to plan on showing your own dog this year. And it was kind of curious in that about 15% of you are going to be showing your own dog. The rest of you will be presumably having someone else show your dog for you. So, Lee, before I ask you the question, or maybe now's a good time to ask this question of you, since I brought up the poll. Lee, what are some of the reasons why people don't show their own dog at Westminster?
Well, you know, this is sort of the elephant in the room question, Dan. And I love bringing those out. At Dog Show Mentor, we've actually had a couple of master classes about this very topic. So when do you hire a handler and why? And there are a few reasons. One is convenience. Maybe you don't want to drive 3,000 miles from California to New York. And you're happy to watch your dog on TV, or maybe you're going to fly and send your dog with a handler and watch. I mean, there are a lot of reasons to use a professional. Sometimes the dog looks better with a professional, but surprisingly, sometimes the dog, if it's not used to that person, is more comfortable with you and gets confused. So you want to make sure that your dog has some exposure to the person that's going to show it if you aren't. Other reasons are breeders who just can't leave all those dogs and puppies at home. Sometimes people just really aren't there yet. You know, they haven't been showing long enough. They don't feel comfortable. They don't feel that they can make their dog look their very best. And I see that we've got so many Bethans. We've got Renee Ann is here from Pennsylvania, proud owner handler of a Chessie. Carolyn says she's not going this year, but friend Tom will be here with the Otterhound, owner handled. Nancy with the Yorkshire Terrier and a Beaver. And Debbie Colton says Pacific Northwest, owner handler Rhodesian Ridgeback. She says best wishes to all going and good luck. Isn't that sweet? Thank you.
Well, those are a lot of breeds and a lot of places where the Showsight team and the Ring Ready folks can cheer you on. I'm always amazed each year when the show has been held in February, in the middle of the winter, how the dogs from all over the country and frankly all over the world manage to deal with the stresses of being in the city at that time of year. Clearly, that's not the case this year. I suspect that it's going to feel more like the typical East Coast outdoor show. Not sure if that's the case, but I suspect that it will be. I imagine that, well, I guess I was thinking with COVID and sort of some folks maybe still apprehensive of traveling, that maybe that might be another reason why an owner handler might have hired a professional this year to show their dog. But
absolutely, yeah, Dan. I mean, that's another elephant in the room for those people who haven't been vaccinated for one reason or another, that they may not feel comfortable, or maybe somebody is compromised in their health in some way. And we see that we've got Leanna is breeder, owner, handler, handling two Basenjis at Westminster. And Ginger says hi from St. Louis.
Hi, Ginger.
Ree Smith says hi from New Jersey. Proud breeder, owner, handler of Golden Retriever Bentley. Very excited to be, it's the first time. Oh my gosh, that's excellent. Congratulations. You win no matter what.
Yes.
You go for the first time. You're going to be wowed with the quality of dogs and the people there.
Yes, and I see that Jenna has joined us from Philadelphia. Hi, Jenna. Nice to see you joining us. Jenna, you have an owner-handled Quaker Hunja. That's a very, very charming breed. And I hope to meet you at a show one of these days soon.
Well, Dan, let's get Meegan on here. I can't wait to introduce
Let's do it.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Meegan Pierotti-Tietje, welcome to
There.
Live.
So
It is
nice to be here. Thank
it's so,
you.
so nice to have you here. It's so nice to have you as part of the Showsight family. We're looking forward to getting to know you better, as I know all of the owner handlers around the country are as well. Meegan, if I may, I just want to introduce you that you are a breeder, owner, handler of Meegan hounds. And you will be showing your Beezer. Do I have that correctly? Is that the nickname for your
That's
breed?
the common tongue, yes.
Okay. So you will be showing your dog this year, and you are a mentor in your breed, and you are a lifelong dog show exhibitor. You grew up in this sport. Maybe can you share a little bit about your experience that you were an owner handler as a wee child? It sounds.
I grew up in golden retrievers, and there are some very early on pictures of me in utero in win photos. So yeah, I started really early.
Really
So,
early.
really early.
Well,
But
that's
my
great.
son did too. So it's a tradition.
So it is a tradition. So is he third generation then?
Yeah, he's third generation dog show for sure. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you. You show on which day? On Saturday, is that
Yes,
correct?
the hounds are on Saturday, and I will be there bright and early, exhibiting, and then kind of trying to make my way around and get to visit with people and get to know people. So I'm pretty excited.
Well, we're looking forward, as I said, to seeing you and your Avivan hound. So you are probably like most people who are going to show this weekend, whether that's in Chicago, New York, or elsewhere. You've got probably some lists that you've put together for preparing both yourself and your hound for the show. So since you are an expert, you've done this before, you've done this your entire life.
Boy.
Can you share some of the items on your lists for both yourself and for your dog on how you prepared for this weekend?
Sure, Dan. So I am a big lister. I make two lists. So I have my own personal list for me, and then I have the list for my dog. So the first thing that I tend to do is I go ahead and I'll check the local weather, and I will check it not just for you look at your high and your low. No, you got to look at the variation in the day, because the 9 a.m. temperature, especially in New York, I grew up in New York, is not going to be the same as the 3 p.m. temperature. So, nor could the dress or attire be. So, I try to go ahead and I try to plan for those things, and I walk myself through my day. So, what do I need, and then what does my dog need, and make sure I have those things. And the big four things that I will say are, it's 3 S's and a W. So, shade, shelter, shoes, and water. So, you're going to want shade and shelter kind of go together depending. It could be rainy, it could be sunny. But either way, you're going to want to provide for yourself and for your animal for sure. And then hydration, outside dog show, if you are not used to it. There's a lot of walking involved, as with any show, but you're not in air conditioning. So it's, it will take the moisture out of you and your animal. So make sure you're drinking enough liquid. And then this is a time when it's probably okay to justify packing several shoe options, I would say. Yeah.
For rain, for the dry weather.
Yeah, I mean, it's the grass could be dewy and wet in the morning and a little slippery. So make sure you're, a lot of us ladies, we like to show in flats, but just make sure that they're not too slippery. And then, there could be a little deluge. I know in New York, I have helped carry a golden retriever to the ring before, because, it's very muddy sometimes. And I think that the estate grounds are just beautiful, and I don't anticipate any problems, but you do want to prepare your feet for whatever they may encounter.
For sure. And I think we ought to let everyone know that the humidity has arrived on the East Coast. It is, and has been all week, very hot and humid. The rains have been coming late in the day. So not saying that that's going to be the case on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but as you just said, if you're prepared for it and it does happen, you're ready. And if it doesn't happen, hallelujah.
Exactly. Yes.
How about for your dog? What are the sorts of things that you would recommend owner handlers pack? What would be on their lists for their dogs?
So I always will start by saying you need to have like a little dog medical kit.
Mm.
And there's a lot of different options that you can Google kind of what you need, but just basic things that you would want to bring to any event that you're going to with your animal. And then I always like to say that I want on my crates and containment, however they are, emergency contact information. I think that's really important. Water buckets, lots of water. If you have sunshades, those are really great. And then a really probably good battery powered fan, just to, even if it's not super hot, just to circulate air for your animal. That's you want them to be comfortable. So those are the things that I would say. Definitely water. I know I said that again, but really water.
So do you have any recommendation for those nerves that I mentioned a little while ago? And Lee, this could be for you as well. As I said, owner handlers, professionals, judges, I would imagine even stewards, and certainly the show committee is a little bit nervous, maybe this year more than ever. But specifically for owner handlers, any advice for first time or even the seasoned exhibitors?
I mean, we're all going to be at this location, and we're all going to be a little new to this experience. But you know what? You have worked so hard to get to where you are, and my honest to goodness advice for new exhibitors would be relax and enjoy this. We have all been waiting to get here, with the COVID and things like that, just waiting. And so we're all nervous, but we're all excited. Let's just take a minute to celebrate the fact that we're here with our animals and really just enjoy this experience. Take it in, just stop and look around you. Look where you are.
Yes.
Because you're never going to have that first particular experience again. So, mark that down, in your mind and enjoy it. And then, of course, come find me. I love to talk to new people. I love to hear your stories. And I want to figure out how we here at Ring Ready can continue to help you guys and encourage you, because truly this is what it's about. It is the lifeblood of this sport is you guys. So, yeah.
That
was beautifully said, Meegan, just beautifully said. And, it reminds me, last weekend, someone said to me, I was in Denver, and they said, this is my first show, and these are my first ribbons. And I think she got best of breed from the classes. And,
oh my gosh.
And I said to her, this is your first show? You need to take these ribbons and frame them with a picture, because you'll never have this experience again. And so what you just said resonates so much with my philosophy of encouraging people to really celebrate all parts of the incremental progress and the incremental steps that they're making as they start showing dogs and start rising to the top. I mean, the people who are at Westminster are in some way they've risen to the top. So it is very exciting. So thank you for saying that. It was beautifully said.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I believe that. I think it's great. And I will say though that embarrassing things happen at every dog show, and if you'd like to hear an embarrassing story, come find me, because I have a lot.
Please.
Yeah. So don't also, I'll just add that we can all be in awe and wonder, but also we can laugh at each other too. And if you'd like a laugh, come talk to me, because
and Meegan, everybody can find you this weekend on Saturday and Sunday at Ring 1 at 12:30. Is that the plan?
Yes, it is. Please come find me and talk to me. We have some really encouraging kind of summer incentives for new advertisers and owner handlers. And so I have things to give you, and I would love to take pictures and just kind of really get to know you guys. So come find me. Yeah.
Terrific. And
we're going to be there with you.
We're going to miss you, Lee, but we know that you are holding down the fort in Chicagoland, and we'll look forward to hearing your stories And thank you for sharing the story about your weekend last weekend in Denver. It is interesting that both you and I, since we've started Ring Ready Live, have been introduced to some of the owner handlers who've been watching our show. That's really always wonderful to meet the folks who are current owner handlers and are excited to learn more from the Dog Show Mentor. And now, Meegan, that you are here to serve them, I know that they're going to enjoy meeting you in person, and that they can always find you with any questions that they have. They can reach you directly at Meegan at Showsight magazine.com.
Yes.
And again, this weekend at 12:30 at Ring 1.
Both days.
Both days. And I'm going to try to join you as well at that time. So I'd love to meet everyone along with your saying hello to Meegan. Lee, do we have other owner handlers who are reaching out to us? Any new questions?
I do. Julie Elliott, Giant Schnauzer from Arizona, is encouraging everyone in their endeavors. Kristen agreed with us that Meegan is well-spoken in her heartfelt experience. But what I really wanted to hear was, I wanted to hear her story about some embarrassing moment. Well, hear about that, right?
Well, really quickly, I will tell you, and my fellow bees and exhibitors can attest to this. Well, yeah. So I have forgotten my show clothes, not once to a major dog show, but twice. So I was in the car about halfway to Orlando just last year when I realized that I had no show clothes for the entire week. So that was particularly embarrassing, and we figured it out, and I did that. The first time I did it was at a national specialty.
Oh.
So yeah.
So that comes under the heading of being prepared for the unexpected. So at Dog Show Mentor, we talk a lot about preparation and how that's key to success, and that you have to understand that you will, in all that preparation, expect the unexpected. And that's exactly what you're saying is, oh my gosh, and who hasn't forgotten their show clothes? Me too. So yeah, I didn't mean to call you out on it, but
oh no,
I knew you had a good one.
There are more. I think that we shared on social media my dog jumping out of the group ring also just this week. Anyway, there's a lot. It's okay.
The Beathans like to jump, so I'm not as surprised with that tale.
They do. There was nothing I could do. We jumped back in though, so it was all right.
There you go.
Out, in and out.
Hearing these stories is really helpful because it just emphasizes the fact that even if you've grown up in the sport, if you are a multi-group judge and you're an owner handler of your own dog, things happen. Yeah. So to every owner handler who has their first dog, or maybe has only been doing it for a few years, or who is maybe showing at Westminster for the very first time, you know, take Lee's advice, be prepared, listen to Meegan, and sit down and write your list so that you don't forget anything. But expect the unexpected. And if you're prepared, you'll be able to just roll with the punches, so to speak. Yeah. And at the very least, you'll have a funny story to share. And maybe it's a story that we would love to retell at Ring Ready or on Ring Ready Live. Meegan, you are our very first guest, and we are looking forward to having you back again. But anyone who's listening, if you're an owner handler and you have a story to tell, whether it's embarrassing or whether it is a victory story, reach out to Lee, reach out to myself, certainly reach out to Meegan, and let us know your stories. Let us know how we can help you as an owner handler. And Meegan, I know that you have a special promo for owner handlers for the summer. Can you tell us a little bit about the promo?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So yeah, please come find me because we're kind of we're trying to really encourage you guys to really celebrate your dogs and your wins as you get back out there. And so right now, a one-page ad is 50% off, or I'm sorry, $50 off, or you can go ahead and you can take advantage of a custom logo. And I don't know about you, but that is a very generous and very awesome idea. And the logo work that Showsight is able to do is just incredible. So it's pretty exciting. And, you know, I've already had a couple of people inquire about that kind of thing. And it's something that I know that we can do, and we can do it really, really well for you. So yeah,
Yeah.
come find me.
Thank you, Meegan, for that. And maybe we can get some of the samples of those logos up on our Facebook page. As you said, they are beautifully done, very professionally prepared. And that can be for either your dog to help to brand a current owner-handled dog, or for your kennel. But whatever your goal, our designers are ready and waiting and ready to deliver a very professionally done logo for you. So before we close, I want to thank you, Meegan, for joining us this week. I want to encourage owner handlers to say hello to Lee in Chicago and to Meegan and myself at Westminster this week. We also want to encourage you to join us next Wednesday at our regular time, 3 p.m. We're going to have our post-Westminster show, and we will be maybe telling
post-Chicago.
And post-Chicago. And if you're an owner handler who has attended either of those shows, reach out to us. Let us know how you and your dog did. We'll be there to cheer you on. And so before we say goodbye, Lee, do you have anything that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I do. I want to emphasize this celebration aspect of wins, that whether it's your first blue ribbon, which is of course what the Dog Show Mentor program was based on, winning your first blue ribbon, or Westminster every year for the last 30 years, it's important to acknowledge your success so that you can really feel that and learn from it and have a lot of respect for your own wins. So I encourage you to talk to Meegan and talk to me. So I'm having another open masterclass at the end of June, the last Tuesday in June. And I hope you all will take advantage of it, because it's already the second half of the year. And if you want to start winning more, and maybe you have some goals, or maybe you want to really define your goals more clearly, that's some of the things that we do at Dog Show Mentor. So if you are a club member of a dog club, whether it be a national club or all breed club, please call me and arrange for a special masterclass just for your members. I'm happy to do it, and I do it at no cost to the club. And it is a virtual and live and interactive, similar to this, but I have the mics and speak directly to people. So I hope that I'll hear from you, and that special will be up shortly on the dogshowmentor.com website. All right.
Thank you very much for that, Lee. And I encourage everyone to reach out to Lee and to learn more about Dog Show Mentor. Her program is unique. It is one of a kind. It is designed for you. Lee's programs are tailored for your needs, your goals, and it's a lot of fun to work with Lee. So please do so. Please reach out to her, and reach out to Meegan as well. Meegan, thank you once again for joining us. Look forward to seeing you this weekend. And Lee, safe travels to you to Chicago. Safe travels to everyone, wherever you're showing this weekend. please be careful. Take care of yourself and your dogs. You'll get there when you get there, but please be safe. And until next week at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, the 16th of June, when we hope that you'll return and join us for our post-Westminster show. I just want to thank you all again for joining us, and have a lot of fun with your dogs.
See you in the winner's circle.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.